Ayojo. Aho. Onti fafana mi forma. Aha. Amasi ahesen obugan hisrai here. Where's on? Hashtag nobody. Me. My NES rant. My NES rant. If you don't know what that is, that's because you're not from Nashville. Stand up. FYI. You ever been just chilling and then out of nowhere your high school spirit just hits you? That's what happened to me about an hour ago. My high school spirit just hit me. And I was just like, warriors for life. Hunter's Lane, stand up. Shout out to all my warriors out there. We the best. Cobras, sit down. We stepping on your head. That's right, I said it. Cobras, y'all sit down. We stepping on y'all's head. Panthers, please. Could never. The Panthers could never. What's the mascot for McGavitt? Shout out to Roshan. Brother Roshan, shout out. What is it? Lions. Yeah, those old MLK Lions. Man, get up out of here. Man, please. Yeah, you know what time it is. You know what time it is. Anyway, I don't know. I just had a moment. Warriors stand up. Warriors for life. Warriors hunt. So all y'all other mascots, the animals, you know what time it is. You on our wall. I digress so we may progress. Back to this NES rant. It's just a rant, y'all. This is a little bit different from what I normally do. You know, just to kind of stay out of the, not really. I mean, that's why I created Nobody. Get some things off my mind and my chest so I don't go insane with all these things on my brain. Bars. So, you know, I'm reading this article that came across my news feed talking about NES is being audited for their vegetation services. If you know vegetation services, tree services. And as soon as I saw the headline of that article, and I commented this on the on the post or whatnot, last week during this storm, I said to myself, looking at all these branches and these trees down, and I'm thankful that, you know, my house, as for me and my house, we didn't miss a beat. No power outages. Biggest tree on the block, standing strong. I mean, it is what it is. Don't hate me. Hate the game. Hate the power that I serve. I digress so we may progress. But that doesn't mean I don't, feel, sympathize, and empathize with the people. You know, if anybody thinks I'm racist, that's because you're an idiot. You're misinformed and you're ignorant. I'm not racist. There's two definitions of racism. I'm not the one that most people try to make someone out to be. No, I love my people. I love my community just like anybody else. So when my community is suffering, I feel that suffering. We are literally instructed in the Bobo Afa, the Holy Scriptures, to pray for the city that we are in. And y'all better be glad that we are in this city. Side note, I told you this is a rant, so I'm going to do some digressions. Side note, 2819. Philip, Anthony, Mitchell. I'm still waiting, and all of you that went out there and opened that portal. All of you that went out there and opened that portal in Atlanta, in that takeover. I'm still waiting for the results. What did you pray for? Now, we need an itemized list. What was prayed for, and have you received it? Because I ain't even checked on Atlanta. I'm about to check on the ATL. I'm about to check my traps, okay? See how this storm treated y'all. I don't know yet. But if it didn't turn out well, oh hell. Brother Philip, y'all was in the middle calling, right? You said you were ascending to heaven, opening a portal, and laying your prayers at his feet. That's what you said. I want to see the results. I digress, so we may progress. But I said to myself, I've been looking at these trees, and y'all know how it is. The city is not doing what they're supposed to do and making sure they landscape the city. Keeping those branches and trees cut back off those power lines. You ever notice? It's like, why would they put these power lines through these trees? Foreman, you do realize when they set these power lines up, those trees aren't there. So they just allow them to grow and overrun the power lines. And nobody's doing their job. It's one of the biggest things when I was in the UK. I tell Saloni and my wife about this all the time. The biggest difference, it's hard to describe, but if you lived in the UK or been to the UK, then you know this. They do their jobs over there. No, it's not this like celebrity superstar mentality. If you're a flight attendant, clerk, blah, 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 then that's what you are. You're not defined by it. And they do their jobs. It's the real deal. It's like we are you can tell we're the cheap knockoff of the UK. But I digress so that we may progress. But people are not doing their jobs. And I don't wholly blame them because as we know, people aren't being properly compensated for their work. And so this is what the article is talking about in this audit is, I forget the lady's name, the NES commissioner or whatever. Mitchell, I think the last name is Mitchell. But she's talking about, the money is there, but we just didn't use it. And I'm like, nah, you capping and you about to be gone. Cause when them white folks start saying, hey, they saying get rid of the whole leadership or whatever, they gonna get you up out of there. So I think her days are numbered, and they should be, because this is ridiculous, especially after the storm we had a few years back that caught Metro. Metro got caught. Y'all remember that storm? I can't remember what year that was, where they didn't allow the children to get out and the storm hit. Y'all remember that? I can't remember exactly what year it was, but that's why now they don't play with it, because that debacle that happened a few years back. Well, it's the same thing with this. And Nashville has been a lot better since some of those past storms we had in recent history. NES hasn't been caught like this because there hasn't been an ice storm. This was a straight up ice storm. And so that ice storm, it freezes everything, including, most importantly, the trees, which are by the power lines. The power lines are frozen to trees, and now you got trees breaking and falling on the power lines. But they're not supposed to be able to do that because they're supposed to be pruning the trees. Point is, though, you need to pay workers and pay for the equipment, the manpower and the equipment to keep that regulated properly. Well, they're saying there's a budget for that. And it's like, okay, so what did you do with the money? They're like, well, we just didn't spend it. She's talking about we switched vendors and all this hot garbage. Y'all know these are just a bunch of excuses. It's like, ma'am, hope you're ready to step down. And again, you should be ashamed of yourselves. But at the same time, in her defense, because this is a bureaucracy, all of these things come down from the head, which is the city. And everybody's these departments are being underfunded. And so because they're being underfunded, they're trying to cut corners. And when they cut corners, it always falls to the same place, the taxpayers and the employees. And see, it's only when natural disasters strike that the city, the community actually feels the pain of an inadequacy. So you can cover this type of thing up until you have a natural disaster, when people actually need each other, when people actually need ROI, right, and the investments they poured into the city. But all this money we're putting into stadiums and, all these vacant residences, that's where the money is right there. But nevertheless, she had the money, they just didn't spend it, and it's because they were trying to cut corners. This is cut and dry, this is common sense. They're not going to fool nobody with all these excuses. So they're double working, okay? The linemen are having to do two jobs, two seasonal, a seasonal job on top of the anomaly they're working on. Because you were supposed to be, when y'all see the landscapers out there preparing for the fall and winter, that's when the city's supposed to be out there preparing for the fall and the winter. But because they haven't done that, now they got to double work, do the job they're supposed to do on the trees, just to get to the repairs that they're supposed to be doing. So there's this, this 2-week delay that she hollered out. It's like 2 weeks. Do y'all understand? Because it was, 4 or 5 days ago, it was 80,000 residents without power. Then I checked 2 days ago, it was like 20,000. See, y'all understand there's still people without power? I'd be pissed too. This is absolutely ridiculous. And we've seen this before. Again, go back to that storm. We didn't properly salt the roads. They didn't properly clear the roads. And now you see how they're loaded up with salt. They're out there early because now they're not going to have that happen again. Same thing with this. But it ain't going to be under this management. I truly hope it's not under this management, because there needs to be a message sent. If you're going to play with people's money, people's lives, you're gone. We're giving you this money to do your job, not for you to live high on the hog and our money to end up in politicians' pockets and funding somebody's, Bentley or cutting off. I pay taxes, doggone it. Right? And so this is what I'm saying. We're a community in that sense, and it shows up during natural disasters. So this is interesting to watch, man. It's ridiculous. It's part of the reason I love my position, because I'm very well aware of everything that's going on in my city. So I can tell you firsthand, I'm delivering and working, going to these houses without power. I'm still an essential worker, y'all. I'm an essential worker. I'm out there. I take my job seriously. I enjoy showing up, bringing somebody. These are stories I can tell you. Bringing somebody food some warm food, who ain't had warm food in a couple days. So I do my part to help my community. It's bigger to me than just a job, because like I told you about the UK, I don't identify with my position. It's just what I do. I have a purpose and a reason for what I do. Side note, the equalizer. What was his position? But I digress, or made progress. But no, man. I forgot the title. Must have my NES rant. So yeah, that's my NES rant. All my Nashvillians, stay strong. For those without power, whenever you see this, stay strong. This is ridiculous. I stand with y'all. I do my part, doing what I can, even just adding my voice to it. Because things like this online is kind of our way of talking. NES has a social media as well. Online is a real place. That's it, man. That's all I got. Absolutely ridiculous, horrendous NES. I mean, they had to go get 930 line workers being ported in. The whole thing's a mess. The whole thing's a mess, man. Anyway, my NES rant. I'll let y'all the next one's got some very interesting ones coming up that you don't want to miss. That is nobody's. That is. All right? Warriors for life. HL, Hunter's Lane. Blue and orange, baby. Let's go. Hey, man, next, what is it? I forgot what those games are called. Let me try to get one of them games. Maniba. Try, Maniba. Pow.